Zolak Bertrand, Joe Mazzulla, Celtics head coach, is with us, and he's always presented by Amica, the exclusive auto, home, and life insurance partner of the Boston Celtics. As the team defends its title, visit Amica.com today to learn more about Amica's award-winning service. Joe Mazzulla with us now. Hey, Joe, what's up?
What's up, guys? How you doing?
Good, Joe.
How you doing?
Nice to hear from you.
Yeah, it's good to hear from you. And we'll get to last night's game, and I know you had a bunch of guys out, but, the big story around here, obviously, Jaylen Brown, and how's he feeling, Joe, with this knee? And I know you don't really want to tell us a lot, but feels like can't hurt it any worse than what it is, if that makes sense, and it's about tolerating pain at this point.
He's doing well, and, I think the one guy, out of anybody, no one knows their body. No one knows how to push themselves. No one knows how to prepare themselves. To put body and mind. Through the rigors of a season, through the rigors of the playoffs. And so at the end of the day, the most important thing is just kind of trusting Jaylen and trusting his work, trusting his process, and also trusting the training staff and the sports science and the guys that put the time in all the time. And so he's doing well, and I trust that he'll be ready to go, when it matters most.
Is it realistic to expect him to be at 100% during your playoff run?
I don't think it's realistic to think that anyone's 100% during a long playoff run, and I think that's where the mental side comes into it, and that's where the mindset of just pushing it. I think that's over the course of the season, over the course of hopefully a potential playoff run. Everybody's dealing with something. So you got to be able to take your mind and your body to a different level, and there's not many people better than that than he is.
I remember there were a lot of hopes on, on Robert Williams. When he had that surgery at the beginning or the end of the season, and he missed part of the playoffs, but he came back and he looked great in spurts. And then there's other times it looked like he couldn't get up and down the court. This isn't as serious as that, is it? Like you did with the meniscus.
No.
Okay, good.
No.
Big story in the NBA this week. Now we've seen two coaches of playoff teams here. Most recently, Mike Malone in Denver, fired right before the playoffs. Is that sort of an unnerving trend when you see head coaches that have had legit success in the league get fired at this stage of the season?
No, not at all. I mean, I think it's just, I think the first thing that, obviously for me comes to mind is, you see it in college, and it's happened when I left, to take a different job, is just how the families and the kids are impacted, school systems, moving places. I think that's the first thing that comes to mind. But the second thing is that's just the nature of it. That's just the world. That's what we live in. That's what we signed up for, and it's humbling. And we've talked about that before. You can't stay attached to the successes that you had. You also can't stay attached to the failures that you had. At the end of the day, especially the Celtics, these organizations have been in good hands before people have been hired, and they're going to be in good hands after. And that's just, for however long you're in charge of it, you try to take advantage of it, be grateful for it, and then when it's done, it's done. It's kind of how it works.
Did you happen to catch that Luka Doncic had a nice tribute?
I didn't see that, no.
No?
Who did he play for?
He plays for the Lakers.
He played for the Lakers, and you're going to play in the finals.
He dropped 45 points on the Mavs after wiping away tears in his return to Dallas. He used to play for the Mavericks. I don't know if you know that. I think you guys had a pretty important series with them last spring, so you may recall that. I'm just wondering if you had caught the heartfelt and emotional tribute that brought tears to his eyes.
I didn't know, but I think it's cool to see, guys show the emotion of, and it shows the humanity of the guys, right? I think they're always looked at as basketball players, but these, especially the cities. I mean, you become such a part of the city and a part of it, and so it's good to kind of see, the guys have that emotion.
So you can imagine it must be tough for some Mavericks fans in the city of Dallas, the emotional attachment that they had to that player, and why some might call that a crazy trade for the Mavericks to move on from such an important cornerstone piece of their franchise.
That's pretty good.
I mean, I think the part that I see out of that is how passionate our fans are, and how much they care about winning, and how much you hear what our guys talk about, how important the city of Boston is to them, and how they've grown during their time in the city of Boston, and kind of the passion and the emotion that goes into that. So that's how I see it. That's kind of what I feel, when we go out there, especially during national anthem, at the Garden every game day.
I'm starting to really enjoy
You're such an American. It's unbelievable.
I'm starting to really enjoy this little dance we're doing. Yeah. This. It's really nice.
Hey, Joe,
Good. I like this hang up.
Yeah. Speaking of passion, did you see the passion that fan had when he got into it with Marcus Smart, and he got the best of his emotions? Did you hear about that?
I did not see that at all. No, I heard about it, but I didn't see it at all.
Have you ever been on the road and had someone say things that may not be considered, crossing the line, but something that maybe just pissed you off that you heard from a fan on the road?
That's happened a couple times. I definitely have had some fun interactions with a couple fans. I think a couple of them try to, because you're so close to the sideline. I felt like at one time a guy was purposely trying to trip me or something. So. But it was cool. And then there was one time where I purposely tried to kick a guy's drink over, but it happened to be empty. There's definitely a game within a game over there on the sideline sometimes.
You could say the fans are just a little bit too close at times in NBA arenas. It's very intimate. It's very tight.
It is, but I mean, I think it's fun sometimes. I mean, there's some clever guys out there. There's a guy at the Knicks game the other night. When we started to let go of the lead a little bit, he was feeling good about himself, and then we were able to take the lead back, and then he was like right there, kind of quiet. But the assistants were telling me he had some really clever lines that they were sharing with me after. So I wish I had some more interaction with him, because some of them are good. I mean, it's hard not to laugh at some of them. You
see that fight down in Atlanta with the Pistons? That skirmish under the bucket? Oh, man. It was a pretty good one. Good dust up underneath the bucket about – What, McComb, about 5 or 6 players involved?
Yeah, that was legit. Yeah.
This was no, hey, I'm standing behind you, pointing at you, taunting you. They were thrown down, man.
Hold me back.
Yeah. Kevin Garnett, hold me back. Yeah. Don't let me get you. Yeah.
Hey, did you guys finish White Lotus?
We did.
Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah.
How did you feel about
good,
the ending? Yeah, you mean good? Yes. I think of the 3 seasons, it ranks 3rd.
Oh, no way.
Really?
No. Season 2 ranks 3rd for me.
Really?
So you like season 2?
I liked season 2. I liked season 1 quite a bit too, but I feel like this one did not live up to the White Lotus standard, quite frankly.
I know. I liked season 2. It was good.
I just don't know why he would have gone back to the hotel.
Yeah,
what's the statute of limitations on these?
I mean, today is Thursday. I feel like we're in the clear.
Yeah, if you didn't watch it by now, it's not like you're not talking about the Easter Bunny.
This is one of the few shows right now, Joe. There's so few of these shows left where people watch them as they come out. I mean, people are all about just kind of catching something on a streaming service and, watching it and kind of binging it. But this is one of those shows that I feel like people were ready for the premiere and watched it for the most part Sunday, Monday, maybe Tuesday. Like, it feels like people kept up with this one.
They did, yeah. I had to catch up. I had never heard of it until the Celtics City that night that we had, and I think the lady from HBO was like, "What shows do you watch from HBO?" And I was like, Curb. She was like, "You've never watched White Lotus?" And I was like, "Nah, I've never heard of it." So I had to race to pick up on it.
Nice. Hey, are you a golf Masters fan? Will you be glued to it this weekend at points you can?
I mean, I appreciate the game of golf. I appreciate the mentality. And I appreciate the history of it, but I'm not I won't be glued to the TV watching it.
I remember a year and a half ago, Tatum was smitten by it. Got to get out, got to hit. He's taking lessons. Does he still do that? Does he still golf a lot or no?
I think so. Yeah, I think so. There was one year he had Masters themed Jordans. I think we were at Memphis 2 years ago. I think we were playing on. I think our last game of the year was either Saturday or Sunday in Memphis. It was 2 years ago. So that's when Milwaukee lost and we won, and that's when we got the 2 seed to play Brooklyn.
I can't stop thinking about HBO shows now. Now that you bring that up, I think you could do an all-time ranking of shows that were on HBO.
Is The Pit on HBO? Or is
it is.
It is.
Yeah, that's an HBO.
I mean,
Band of Brothers.
I'm probably not as versed in that, but I'm going Curb, Entourage, and White Lotus. Not in any particular order.
Entourage is great.
Entourage, come on. That
Love
Entourage doesn't age well.
Oh God,
That doesn't
Entourage is
age well.
awesome.
True Detective season 1.
Season 1, True Detective,
Yeah.
out of this world. Sopranos is the number 1 for me all time on HBO. I don't think that can.
You know,
be
I've
topped.
never watched Sopranos.
Wow.
Come on, Joe.
Come on, Joe.
Never watched it.
Well, you get some real catching up to do.
Yeah.
I got to get to that one.
White Lotus.
But Entourage it's one of the best.
How
up
about
there.
Succession? That was more recent. Did you watch
I
Succession?
haven't watched that either. No.
I haven't watched it either. I did watch Sopranos though. But yeah.
Okay. So basketball. You ready for the playoffs or what? How you feeling? Good.
Yeah, I think we're in a good place. I think we gotta close these 2 games out strong. I think that's important. Making sure that we continue to do things. I thought, obviously last night was a tough situation game. I appreciate the guys. I don't think people realized, seeing what the guys go through just to get ready for a game, but especially a game like that. And I appreciate the expectation was to win. The standard was to win, and we put the preparation into, but just couldn't. Just ran out of gas there, but I appreciate those guys for competing last night. But the night before, we got some great reps, in a great environment, some late game execution against a great team, and I think we're in a good place mentally, and I think the biggest thing about the playoffs is just a perspective. It's just not supposed to go a certain way. I thought last year probably was a little bit easier than we may have anticipated, and if you study the runs that teams make and the teams that have been successful multiple times, there's not a rhyme or reason to how a series is supposed to go, how many number of games you're supposed to play, are you supposed to win game 1, are you supposed to sweep, none of that really matters. It's about just kind of doing whatever it takes, being ready to do whatever it takes to win, and I think the guys are there.
Do you feel that much better about your bench this year than you did this time last year? I mean, these guys are playing a lot.
I feel the same.
Well.
I felt the same.
Wow.
And I felt the same last year as I did this year about our bench. I mean, I felt that way the entire time. I think, these guys have – there's so many games within a season that people forget about, and it's so hard to focus on some of them. But, over the last few years, it's obviously our top guys are our top guys. But to be as, successful as we have been in a regular season, you have to be able to, guys, deliver night in and night out. And I think, in my time here, that's been one of the strengths. Is those guys are, we very rarely miss a beat, when we're not healthy, and it's important to have that versatility and that bench. So, no, I believe in them the same.
All right, Joe. Well, it's great to talk to you as always. Catch up soon.
All right. It's great to hear from you guys.
See you, Joe.
Come by the facility.
What's that?
Fighting us.
You got to come by the facility.
Yeah, we were working on that. We were talking about maybe end of this week, but that's not going to happen now.
Yeah.
So maybe, I don't know. Or the end of next week. I don't know. We're working on it.
I came to you guys. You guys owe me one.
I know we do.
I know. You guys got food there?
We're gonna.
We have food there. I'll make sure if you come, I'll make sure there's food there.
Get my hair cut there too. I know you got a haircut place in there.
If you've noticed, I'm not really a big haircut guy.
I was going to ask you. Is this like a sort of? I don't want to say tradition, but like, are you letting it grow a little?
No, I think haircut. It's just there's just a lot that goes into it, like because you don't go by yourself. You end up taking like 1 or 2 of your kids with you. That's like a 3-hour ordeal. You never have cash, so you got to find a place with an ATM or go to an ATM. There's a lot that goes into it. It's just not worth it.
You got guys on the team that could cut your hair, Joe. I know that. We've had that too. I would watch players getting their hair cut by other players.
Yeah. It's just not worth it.
All right.
I do love that barbershops might have the highest percentage of in their industry of places that do not take anything but cash.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And
sometimes there's not even like a price. It's just kind of like, what do I feel like today,
Yeah.
But
I used to.
I try to always go to the same guy that cut my hair when I was an assistant. So that's kind of why,
That's nice. You're
Loyalty.
loyal to them. We like that.
Yeah. Everyone's loyal until something better comes along.
Let me get that T-shirt made.
All right, Joe.
right.
We'll work on figuring out that day that we'll be.
See you, Joe.
All right, later.
All right,
Later.
see ya.
Bye.
Bye.
I know it's getting a little
We're
bushy.
working on that. We're
Little bushy
working on
up
that.
top.
Working on that day. There was one proposed day. It didn't end up panning out, I guess.
So you go old school barber, and that's straight cash.
Oh, yeah.
Because like some of the modern ones, like I do Apple Pay on it.
Well,
That's like Milliken's. Milliken's got that. But no, straight cash.
yeah, it's got to be a cash business, man.
Patriots already have
For-
a barber in Plainville.
for security.
Yeah, exactly.
Patriots, Vrabel and his staff already have a barber in Plainville that they've all gone to already. The new staff. Fact.
Well, I'm
was the
really
last time-
excited for them.
When was the last time you switched?
Across from Lowe's. I go to whoever's open, like, because I don't call.
Vrabel found a great cuts. Super cuts.
His hair doesn't.
Proud
Hole
sponsor
in
of
the wall
Felger
place,
Maz, I
yeah.
believe.
Right. Are they? No kidding.
I think so.
Yeah, I think they are.
Huh.
And they take cards. They'll
Yeah.
take, yeah.
Yeah.
They're on the up and up. If you like that clip, check out more videos from Zolak and Bertrand here. For more Celtics analysis and opinion, hit this playlist. And for all the latest from the Sports Hub, download the app at 985thesportshub.com.